All right, let's look at the reaction now coming out of the Gauteng High Court, which has ruled that the Department of Basic Education should publish the matric results across all media platforms. Now, the decision coming after lobby group Afriforum filed an urgent application challenging the department's decision not to publish the results last week. Now, the department announcing that matric results will no longer be published in the media following the Protection of Personal Information Act that came into effect in July last year. All right, let's get that reaction now from Reggie Moalusi, who represents the South African National Editors Forum. Reggie, good morning to you. Your reaction on this court outcome?
Morning, Koli. Our reaction is that we welcome the court outcome. And we are quite encouraged that the department won't appeal the decision. They've noted and they've said to us on Sunday morning when we met that they will welcome whatever court outcome is there. So there's not going to be any appeal. So yes, our members can most certainly steam ahead and publish their results.
Well, that's very interesting to hear from you, Reggie. Unless something has come this morning, that then means the silence that we are reading from the department right now is perhaps a confirmation of what your discussions were on Sunday, that the department will not be appealing. Did they give any reason as to why they will not appeal?
The only reason that they stated in that meeting was that, the decision was taken after they've done very extensive consultations with the information regulator. The same information regulator that has consulted us as SANEF extensively when the POPI Act was being drafted. But, the meeting was following our statement where we were quite disappointed with the abrupt decision to just announce the non-publication of these results. So I think they've realized how deeply that this decision was and how deeply it affected us as a fraternity. But we also, put forward our reasons to say we respect the Act, we uphold the Act, and most importantly, we respect the privacy of our learners. And I'm sure in the court state that, the publication does not really mean we want to be intrusive when it comes to the privacy of our matriculants.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the impact of such a decision had the court ruled in favor of the department. But I want to gather your thoughts on the motive behind this decision, because the department basically, they based their decision on the coming into effect of the POPI Act, Protection of Personal Information. We heard in court Afriforum arguing that no personal information was really going to be shared. It's simply the student number alongside the name of the learner, and therefore there isn't really, or there wasn't really going to be any personal information being shared. So I go back to my original question, which is the motive for the department wanting to take this decision. And I'm asking you this, Reggie, on the back of suspicions by some who say that this could potentially have been the department's way of wanting to shield the bad outcome of the results for the class of 2021. Possible bad outcome. Let me preface that question with that.
Well, look, I think I've also had that kind of speculation, but I wouldn't want to go there. I think the department, when we met them on Sunday, their only reason was that, look, we want to adhere by the law. But I think all of us want to adhere by the law. We respect the POPI Act. So if you want to adhere by the law and the Act came into effect in the middle of last year, then why didn't you see it fit to consult and reach out to us and speak to us about this? For that, they apologized. For that, they said, look, we can do better as the department in terms of that communication. And I think over the years, we as the newspaper fraternity and our digital platforms, we have always said, look, we're publishing student numbers and we are protecting the privacy of the learners. There's no commercial interest. It's always been the case that, you know, the publication of a student number, if I'm going to look for a student number of a Xoli who's in Umlazi, I'm sure I'll have to do a whole lot of digging, a whole lot of searching for me to uncover who is this Xoli, and I'm sure there are various Xolis across the whole of South Africa. So you can imagine how that argument was kind of skewed to say, with the student number, exactly what are we exposing when it comes to the personal information of the said learner. Right. So I think, yes. So I think we shouldn't really be speaking on their behalf and then accusing them of trying to conceal maybe the results or so forth. Let's wait for the results to see them. We are quite encouraged that our audiences and our readers will get to access those results.
The impact, therefore, Reggie, of this decision, had it come to being that the results would not be published on media platforms, in particular the print media, which is already bleeding money as a result of digital platforms that have come into being, what would have been the impact there? How severe?
Very severe, actually. As you may know, I mean, the industry was already bleeding before the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now the pandemic came in. We saw job losses. We saw revenue losses. We saw titles closing. So the impact has been quite huge. And as it is now, particularly for print titles, what happens is that as early as November of every year, they start pre-ordering printing paper because they'll be having a very large and extended print runs. And those orders, they need to pay for them. So you can imagine that payments have already been done for the pre-ordering of this paper. Now you can't use the paper, you can't continue procuring it because you are not allowed to publish these results. So that's the one aspect of the losses. And our digital platforms, they invest quite a lot in terms of the architecture of the data sets that they need to use. So that it's quite simple when you go to a site and you want to access those results. So there's money that's been spent. It's money that's not available. It's money that these titles are not getting back because there's really no significant commercial interest for them.
Reggie Moalusi, thank you very much for your thoughts around this matter. He is with the National Editors Forum, in short, SANEF.